Hello, it's Reija, and welcome to my wrap-up of Dewey's 24-hour readathon. I'm actually quite surprised that I managed to get so much of my TBR read, because, as I've stated multiple times before, I am not a quick reader. At all. That's why I decided not to be too optimistic about my TBR, so I didn't put that many books on it in the first place. But I managed to surprise myself, because I, in fact, did manage to get a lot done. So let's just jump right in. First up, I read Animal Farm by George Orwell. I had actually already started this and was about halfway through when I picked it up for the readathon. And I have previously read it in Finnish, but I have decided that I want to read most of the classics in their original language where that is possible. I've been starting to read a lot of the classics in English. I started with Pride and Prejudice last year, and I also started collecting some of my favorite classics. And I absolutely loved Animal Farm as a child, and I still love it, and I actually think that I gained a lot of new insight into the book by reading it in its original language, so that really made me happy. After Animal Farm, I read the 6th volume of Saga, which I reserved from the library in, I think, late February, and I've been waiting for it for a long time because it is also nominated in the graphic novel category in the BookTube SSF Awards. I really think that this was a good volume. It was much better than the last one, because the 5th volume to me felt a lot like a filler. Even though many important things happened, it didn't have the same suspense and thrill as the previous volumes before it did. For me, that is. And I think that the 6th one managed to pick up the speed and actually progressed the story much better than the 5th volume did. And I really enjoyed it. I also think the art was more on point in this one. I think the time skip that happens between the 5th volume and this one kind of left you a bit shaken, because you don't know what's happened in the couple of years that take place before this book starts, and this book doesn't tell you. So it was a bit of a struggle at first to get into it, but I definitely enjoyed this a lot more than the 5th volume, so yeah. And third up, I read The Color of Magic by Terry Pratchett. I actually managed to only get about 80% through during the readathon, but afterwards I had only like 30 pages to go, so I finished it pretty quickly. And I really liked it, and I can't wait to get my hands on the next volume. Rincewind is such a weird character, because he's very obnoxious in his cowardice, and you kind of feel like this is a person you wouldn't want to be around because of his baggage. But he's very entertaining, and I actually ended up sympathizing with him a lot, so can't wait to read more of his adventures. And of course, I have read some of the Discworld books featuring Death, and I still think that Death is a very funny and marvelous character, and I can't wait to start reading the books where he is in a more prominent role. So that was my wrap-up. I also have the 2nd volume of Descender, which I'm gonna read later tonight, but I didn't manage to start it during the readathon, so it basically isn't part of my wrap-up. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in another video. If you like this one, please consider leaving a comment, giving it a thumbs up, and subscribing to my channel. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye!